The girl wakes up from a nightmare and wakes her mother up. Her doll Olive is scared. The doll ordered them to hide because the breathers had found them. Mom is not happy. They had agreed not to talk about these creatures anymore. Besides, Dad is protecting their peace. They walk through the dark corridors to check on Dad wearing imaginary glasses. Dad tells them how many times he's completed solitaire during his shift, and as long as his mischievous daughter's little footsteps haven't sounded, no creature has dared to disturb their peace. But the girl is worried, so she climbs the stairs to check the hatch. Then she signals to her parents that everything is fine later. Claire turns on their own son, and the girl is trusted to make a mark. She counts them. They hide 301 days. That's the number of days they've spent underground, Mom suggests, eating beans, but Zoe wants peaches. Claire has to retrieve the can of peaches, while the parents are busy fixing the water pump. Zoe opens the can and it's empty. There's a hole in the side. Someone managed to open the tin and take out the fruit. The family begins to check their supplies, and almost all of them are empty. People wonder who could have teeth like that and how did the unknown intruder get inside. Claire notices the ventilation window. Breathers won't fit through it, but a rat easily could. The girl has to eat beans, which irritates Zoe, who is already upset. Besides, her only friend is Olive Ray. Objects, aren't they? Friends. They can't say. They have nothing after all. They found shelter just when they needed it most. They got food, a home, a life. They might be the only survivors. So every mark is truly a miracle, and food will help them survive one more day. If the girl eats her beans, they will set off on a journey later. They play with a model of their town, closing their eyes and remembering their favorite places, a cafe and homemade ice cream. Zoe imagines eating it and smiles, but the parents aren't in the mood for smiles. They need to figure out where to get food. Ray is ready to go to the surface, but Claire reminds him that they are still being wanted, and although Ray is willing to do anything for their daughter, Claire no longer believes in miracles. Claire engages in math with her daughter, playing a homemade game. The girl asks questions, wondering if they are really the only ones left, Claire suggests. Taking a look on the surface, they pull out a homemade periscope through the hatch and survey the surroundings, the school, the playground, and no one. Dad was right, they are the only ones left. Claire reassures her daughter. They've hidden the door well, which means no one will find them. And their friends have probably managed to hide as well. At that moment, Zoe sees a rat and runs to her father. They are ready to deal with the thief, but the rat escapes. The family chases after it and Claire kills the animal. But in the heat of the pursuit, Ray knocks over a lamp, which starts a fire moments later. The model of the town ignites. The adults try to put out the emerging fire, but the water pump malfunctions again. Nevertheless, the parents manage to extinguish the fire. But Zoe is lost in the darkness. They find their frightened daughter under the bed. The breathers are sure to see them, because the smoke from the fire is coming out of the grated window. The family goes back in time. Mom cooks food, and Dad hugs her. Claire talks about Zoe's friendship with the neighbor boy, Joey. Ray is worried he doesn't like the boy, and then the girl notices the neighbors hurrying somewhere. The parents go outside, and when they ask Joey, he tells them about a virus that is affecting people severely. The family leaves, advising them to leave as well. People see the town's population hurriedly dispersing in the kitchen. A fire alarm goes off. The bacon in the pan is burning, and now the smoke rises to the ceiling and exits through the ventilation window. The family hopes that on the surface it's dark and no one will spot the fire's traces. Ray raises the periscope and the smoke is clearly visible. Claire is frantically searching for a solution. Ray tries to calm his wife. Even if they see the smoke, by the time they reach this place, it will have dispersed and they won't find the entrance to the shelter. But it doesn't comfort her. They will realize that someone is here. Claire touches the burnt wood. She leaves ashes. Zoe understands. They are no longer hidden. Claire suggests guests going up and clearing the scattered ashes. She insists that her daughter closes the door behind them and absolutely does not open it. The girl is against it. She can help too. But the mother remains adamant. Ray opens the hatch, and they emerge to the surface. Zoe is left behind hugging her doll. She persuades herself not to be afraid and pulls out the periscope. She sees her parents, at inhuman speed, scattering the pursuers. The woman orders her daughter to run. A soldier is ready to shoot her. But then Zoe rushes at the soldier. She also transforms and is willing to kill anyone with beastly cruelty. Her mother stops her. She returns to her normal form and asks Zoe not to kill the man, but the daughter attacks her mother. Claire shouts, the rule they memorized in the bunker. She can stop the girl, stops and regains her senses. Zoe tends to her mother's wounds and they leave, leaving the soldier behind, and he starts to mutate. They find Ray, who has also returned to his human form, but he is dying. The family says their goodbyes. The father asks his daughter to embark on a journey and dies. Claire hears a helicopter and grabs Zoe. They need to hide soon. They find an entrance to a storm sewer. The girl wakes up from a nightmare. The breathers are closed. Her mother tries to calm her, but Zoe is sure she heard something. And suddenly from the darkness the neighbor boy with whom Zoe was friends emerges. He leads them to an underground shelter where the infected from Kingsville have found refuge. They are different now. But it's normal here. Zoe sees the sun. That means it's been 302 days. Claire closes the hatch behind her. For this genre, it's a very good thriller with a slow-paced development and an unpredictable ending that completely flips the plot and shows the viewer that they've been rooting for the wrong side all along. It's a very illustrative situation when you make judgments about what's good and what's bad without having all the information. Music. Taking a look on the surface, they pull out a homemade periscope through the hatch and survey the surroundings, the school, the playground, and no one. Dad was right. They are the only ones left. Claire reassures her daughter. They've hidden the door well, which means no one will find them. And their friends have probably managed to hide as well. At that moment, Zoe sees a rat and runs to her father. They are ready to deal with the thief, but the rat escapes. The family chases after it and Claire kills the animal. But in the heat of the pursuit, Ray knocks over a lamp, which starts a fire moments later. The model of the town ignites. The adults try to put out the emerging fire, but the water pump malfunctions again. Nevertheless, the parents manage to extinguish the fire. But Zoe is lost in the darkness. They find their frightened daughter under the bed. The breathers are sure to see them, because the smoke from the fire is coming out of the grated window. The family goes back in time. Mom cooks food, and Dad hugs her. Claire talks about Zoe's friendship with the neighbor boy, Joey. Ray is worried he doesn't like the boy, and then the girl notices the neighbors hurrying somewhere. The parents go outside, and when they ask Joey, he tells them about a virus that is affecting people severely. The family leaves